Welcome. Today we're diving into a powerful concept, the four ifs that make life truly worthwhile. This idea first came to me while studying in the Carmel Library in California, a place that always inspired deep thought and reflection. As we explore these four ifs, you'll discover how simple principles can transform your approach to learning, trying, staying committed, and caring deeply. Each if is a stepping stone, building a foundation for a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Let's begin by setting the stage for this journey, understanding why these four ifs matter and how they can impact every area of your life from personal growth to relationships and beyond. First if is simple but profound. If you learn, life becomes worthwhile. Learning isn't just about formal education, it's about curiosity, exploration, and growth. You learn by trying new things, making mistakes, and observing others. Every experience, whether it's a success or a setback, offers a lesson. The key is to never stop learning. Stay curious about the world, ask questions, and seek out new knowledge. When you commit to lifelong learning, you open doors to new opportunities and keep your mind sharp. Remember, learning is a journey, not a destination. It's what keeps life interesting and helps you adapt to change. Learning comes in many forms. You can learn by doing, by making errors, or by getting things right. Sometimes the best lessons come from watching others and understanding their experiences. Books, conversations, and even failures are all valuable teachers. The important thing is to keep your quest for knowledge alive. Never let the desire to learn fade away. Whether you're picking up a new skill, exploring a hobby, or simply observing the world around you, every bit of learning adds value to your life. Make it a habit to seek out new information and reflect on what you discover. Second if is all about action. If you try, life becomes worthwhile. It's not enough to just learn, you have to put your knowledge into practice. Trying means stepping out of your comfort zone and taking risks. Whether it's starting a garden, launching a business, or aiming for a promotion, the act of trying is what moves you forward. Don't be afraid of failure. Every attempt teaches you something new. Encourage yourself and others to try, even when you're unsure of the outcome. Remember, progress comes from effort, and every try brings you closer to your goals. Trying isn't just about making one attempt, it's about persistence. If you don't succeed the first time, try again. There's always another way up the mountain, another approach to take. Sometimes you might knock the bar down, but that doesn't mean you can't clear it. The key is to keep trying, to experiment, and to learn from each attempt. This resilience builds character and helps you discover what you're truly capable of. Remember, every successful person has faced setbacks. What sets them apart is their willingness to keep trying, no matter what. Third if is about commitment. If you stay, life becomes worthwhile. Developing staying power is one of life's biggest challenges. It's easy to start something new, but seeing it through to the end is what truly matters. Many people plant seeds but leave before the harvest. Others build foundations but never finish the house. True fulfillment comes from sticking with your goals, finishing what you start, and celebrating your achievement. Staying means being patient, persistent, and dedicated, even when things get tough. It's about seeing things through and experiencing the satisfaction of completion. Staying committed isn't always easy. Life is full of distractions and new opportunities that can pull you away from your original goals. Some people are great at starting over, but true growth comes from finishing what you begin. It's about putting the last brick in place, lighting the fireplace, and celebrating the completion of your work. Staying requires focus and the ability to resist the urge to jump to something new before you've finished what you started. Remember, the real reward comes at the end, when you can look back and see what you've accomplished. Fourth if is perhaps the most important. If you care, life becomes worthwhile. Humans have an incredible capacity to care for others, for their work, for their communities. When you care, you get results, and when you care enough, you achieve extraordinary things. Caring means putting your heart into what you do, showing empathy, and making a positive impact on those around you. It's about going beyond the minimum and striving to make a difference. The more you care, the more meaningful your life becomes, and the greater your influence on the world. Caring isn't just a feeling, it's an action. When you care, you put in the extra effort, pay attention to details, and go out of your way to help others. This level of commitment leads to incredible results, both for yourself and for those you care about. Whether it's in your personal relationships, your work, or your community, caring deeply sets you apart. It inspires trust, builds strong connections, and creates a sense of purpose. Remember, the world needs more people who care. Be one of them and watch how your life transforms. Now that we've covered the four ifs, let's shift to another essential topic: communication. Good communication starts with preparation. Even if you don't have a formal speech to give, it's important to prepare for everyday conversations. Get your notepad out, keep a journal, and read books to expand your knowledge. Being prepared means you're always a step ahead, ready for any conversation, whether it's business, social, or personal. Preparation gives you confidence and ensures you have something valuable to share. The more you prepare, the better your communication will be. First step to effective communication is having something good to say. This comes from your preparation, your research, your experiences, and your reflections. When you have valuable insights or stories to share, your conversations become more engaging and meaningful. Take time to think about what you want to communicate. Gather your thoughts, organize your ideas, and be intentional about the message you want to deliver. When you speak from a place of knowledge and authenticity, people are more likely to listen and connect with you. Second step is to say it well. Communication isn't just about what you say, but how you say it. Practice expressing your ideas clearly and confidently. Use repetition but do it consciously, always with the goal of improving. Over time, you'll find your words flow more smoothly and your stories become more concise. Remember, saying it well also means being sincere, accurate, and brief. People appreciate honesty and clarity. The more you practice, the better you'll get at delivering your message effectively. Sincerity is at the heart of good communication. People want to feel that you're genuine, that you're not just playing a role or telling a story for effect. When you speak sincerely, your words carry weight and build trust. There's no substitute for sincerity. People can sense when you're being real. Always tell the truth, even if it's simple. The power of your message comes from its authenticity. Remember, sincerity can't be faked. It's the foundation of credibility and lasting relationships. Along with sincerity, accuracy and brevity are crucial. Make sure your stories and facts are true. Avoid exaggeration or stretching the truth, as it can damage your credibility. Also, keep your points short and to the point. Attention spans are short, so don't linger too long on any one topic. Practice being brief, especially when talking to kids, who will quickly let you know if you're taking too long. Short, clear stories and examples are more memorable and effective. Everyone has a unique communication style. It might include gestures, facial expressions, or the way you use your voice. The key is to develop your own style while also learning from others. Practice speaking in a way that feels natural to you, but always look for ways to improve. Your personal style makes your communication memorable and engaging. Remember, style isn't about impressing others, it's about expressing yourself authentically. Be a student of style and let your personality shine through. Third step to good communication is reading the effect you're having on others. Pay attention to your audience, whether it's one person or 1,000. Look for signs of engagement, interest, or confusion. Body language, facial expressions, and even subtle cues can tell you a lot about how your message is being received. If you notice people are losing interest, adjust your approach. Being aware of your audience helps you connect more deeply and ensures your message lands as intended. Reading your audience isn't always straightforward. Sometimes people may appear interested out of courtesy, but they're not truly engaged. Adults especially can mask their real feelings. Learn to pick up on subtle signals. Folded arms, lack of eye contact, or leaning away can all indicate disinterest. Use common sense and trust your instincts. Don't mistake politeness for genuine interest. The more you practice, the better you'll get at reading the room and responding appropriately. Body language is a powerful tool in communication. People often reveal their true feelings through their posture, gestures, and facial expressions. For example, someone folding their arms or looking away might be signaling disinterest or discomfort. Women in particular often have a keen sense for picking up on these signals, a skill developed over generations. Pay attention to these cues. They can help you adjust your message and approach for better results. Remember, communication is as much about listening and observing as it is about speaking. Sometimes the most obvious signals are the most important. If someone is leaning toward the door or seems distracted, it's a clear sign you may need to change your approach. Don't ignore what's right in front of you. Let the obvious be your best teacher. In communication, being aware of these signs can save you time and help you connect more effectively. Always be open to feedback, both verbal and nonverbal, and use it to improve your interactions. Humans are constantly sending and receiving signals, often without realizing it. These signals or vibrations can reveal a lot about how someone feels. Animals, for example, can sense fear or confidence in people. Similarly, we can pick up on each other's emotions through subtle cues. Trust your instincts and be sensitive to the signals others are sending. This awareness will make you a more effective communicator and help you build stronger connection. As you become more aware of your audience, you'll learn when to speed up, slow down, or change the subject. Sometimes you need to be stronger or more gentle depending on the situation. The key is to stay flexible and responsive. Look intently at your audience, whether it's one person or a group, and try to sense what's happening between you. This adaptability will greatly enhance your communication skills and make your conversations more impactful. Fourth step in communication is intensity, bringing strong feelings and emotions into your words. It's not just what you know, but how you feel that makes your message powerful. Words loaded with emotion have the greatest impact. Think of your words as a pin and your emotions as the iron bar that drives them home. When you speak with conviction, passion, and authenticity, your message resonates deeply with others. Don't be afraid to show your feelings, just remember to measure your emotions appropriately for each situation. While emotions are powerful, it's important to use them wisely. Not every situation calls for the same level of intensity. Learn to match your emotional energy to the importance of the point you're making. For minor topics, a gentle touch is enough. For major points, bring more passion. Avoid overreacting to small issues. Don't use a can to chase a rabbit. The right balance of emotion makes your communication more effective and ensures your message is received as intended. Your emotions are shaped by your experiences and how they've affected you. Every joy, disappointment, success, and failure adds to your emotional reservoir. When you communicate, draw on this blend of knowledge and feeling. The more aware you are of your emotions, the more powerful and authentic your conversations will be. Take time to reflect on your experiences and use them to enrich your communication. This self-awareness is a key ingredient in connecting with others on a deeper level. One of the most overlooked aspects of communication is simply saying what needs to be said. It's easy to assume that people know how you feel, especially those closest to you. But actions are no substitute for words. Make sure to express your feelings and thoughts clearly and often. Don't take anything for granted. Reassure the people you care about, clarify your intentions, and keep the lines of communication open. Words have the power to strengthen relationships and prevent misunderstanding. While actions are important, they should never replace words. Both are needed for effective communication. For example, giving someone flowers is a lovely gesture, but it doesn't say everything you feel. Pair your actions with words to make your message complete. A heartfelt note or a simple expression of appreciation can mean more than any gift. Remember, it's the combination of what you do and what you say that truly communicates your feelings. Words have a unique power to touch the heart and mind. A thoughtful inscription, a kind message, or a sincere compliment can leave a lasting impression. Sometimes the words you share mean more than any material gift. Don't underestimate the impact of expressing your feelings through words. Make it a habit to communicate openly and honestly, especially with those who matter most to you. Your words can inspire, comfort, and strengthen the bonds you share. Like any skill, communication improves with practice. The more you express yourself, the better you'll get at it. Practice putting your feelings into words, sharing your thoughts, and listening actively. Over time, you'll find it easier to communicate clearly and confidently. Don't treat communication casually, make it a priority to grow in this area. The results will surprise you as your relationships deepen and your influence expands. Effective communication requires sensitivity and fascination. Be genuinely interested in others, what they think, how they feel, and what matters to them. This curiosity helps you connect on a deeper level and makes your conversations more meaningful. Sensitivity allows you to pick up on subtle cues and respond with empathy. When you approach communication with fascination and care, you create an environment where people feel valued and understood. Having a working knowledge of your subject is essential for effective communication. This means not only understanding the facts but also being able to apply them in real-life situations. Stay informed, keep learning, and be ready to share your insights. The more you know, the more confident you'll feel when communicating. Working knowledge allows you to answer questions, provide examples, and engage in meaningful discussions. Presentations are a part of everyday life, whether you're speaking to a child, a business client, or a group of friends. The key to a great presentation is preparation and awareness. Know your audience, organize your thoughts, and practice your delivery. A successful presentation builds rapport, shares valuable information, and leaves a lasting impression. Remember, every conversation is an opportunity to present your ideas and connect with others. First part of any presentation is identification, getting acquainted and building a bridge with your audience. This is about breaking the ice and establishing contact. The first few seconds are crucial for making a positive impression. Find something you have in common with your audience to start the conversation. Identification makes you relatable and sets the stage for effective communication. Remember, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. One of the best ways to identify with someone is to find common ground. Share a recent experience, a mutual interest, or a relatable story. When people hear something familiar, they're more likely to engage and respond positively. Use phrases that invite agreement, like "me too." Avoid trying to impress, focus on expressing yourself honestly. Expressing builds bridges while impressing can create barriers. Aim for connection, not competition. In introducing yourself or starting a conversation, focus on expressing rather than impressing. People are more likely to connect with you if they feel you're genuine and relatable. Avoid listing achievements or titles that might come across as boasting. Instead, share stories or experiences that others can relate to. This approach breaks down barriers and fosters a sense of camaraderie. Remember, the goal is to connect, not to compete. Identification isn't a one-time event. Even with people you know well, it's important to re-identify, check in, share updates, and keep the connection fresh. Ask how they're doing, share what's new with you, and keep the dialogue open. This ongoing process strengthens relationships and ensures that communication remains meaningful. Don't assume that familiarity means you don't need to reconnect. Make re-identification a regular part of your interactions. Stories are a powerful tool for identification. Share personal experiences that others can relate to, moments of embarrassment, success, or challenge. These stories create a sense of shared experience and help your audience feel understood. The more you draw from your own life, the easier it is to connect with people from all walks of life. Keep a journal of your experiences and use them to enrich your conversations and presentation. Every audience is unique, with different backgrounds, interests, and experiences. Learn to identify with a variety of people by being aware of what's happening in the world and staying open to new perspectives. Adapt your stories and examples to fit the audience you're speaking to. The more you practice, the better you'll get at finding common ground with anyone, regardless of their background or age. Some of the greatest communicators in history were masters at identification. They used language and stories that resonated with their audience's experiences. For example, when speaking to fishermen, use fishing metaphors. When talking to lawyers, use legal language. Tailoring your message to your audience shows respect and understanding, making your communication more effective and memorable. In communicating with children, identification is especially important. Read the books they read, watch the shows they watch, and remember what it was like to be their age. Use stories and examples from their world to make your points. This approach not only helps you connect but also makes your message more engaging and relevant. Kids appreciate when adults take the time to understand their perspective. Identify with others, tap into your own memories and experiences. Recall what it felt like to be chosen last, to face disappointment, or to celebrate a victory. These memories help you relate to people of all ages and backgrounds. The more you reflect on your own life, the more stories and examples you'll have to share. Use your experiences as a bridge to connect with others and make your communication more authentic. Identification should be a conscious, deliberate process. Before any conversation or presentation, think about what you can share that will help you connect with your audience. Ask yourself, who am I talking to? What experiences do we share? Use your mind like a computer, searching for relevant stories and examples. Keeping a journal of your experiences can make this process easier and more effective. A gather of life's experiences. Pay attention to the movies you watch, the books you read, and the stories you hear. Collect these experiences and use them as points of reference in your conversations. The more experiences you gather, the richer your communication will be. You'll be able to identify with people from all walks of life and make your messages more relatable and impactful. As you grow and change, your perspective on life's experiences will evolve. A movie you watched as a teenager will have a different meaning when you watch it as an adult. Use these evolving insights to deepen your identification with others. The more you reflect on your changing perspective, the more you'll be able to connect with people at different stages of life. This adaptability makes your communication richer and more meaningful. Every experience, whether positive or negative, can be used to connect with others. If someone shares a story of disappointment, recall a similar moment from your own life to show empathy and understanding. Use your experiences to illustrate points, offer comfort, or inspire action. The key is to be aware of what you've learned and to use it consciously in your communication. This approach makes your conversations more authentic and impactful. In summary, the 4 IFs, if you learn, if you try, if you stay, and if you care, are the foundation of a worthwhile life. Combine these principles with effective communication skills. Prepare, have something good to say it well, read your audience, and bring intensity to your words. Use identification to build bridges with others, drawing on your experiences and adapting to your audience. As you practice these skills, you'll find your relationships deepen, your influence grows, and your life becomes richer and more meaningful. Keep building those bridges, one conversation at a time.